Playing the intro.
Crank the volume, feel the flame rise high. Top 4 list where legends never die. Video games, movies, sports on the line. Your favorites carved in stone divine. It's all about your top 4, nothing more. Rushmore Show kicking down the door. Ranking the icons, the greats we adore. It's all about your top 4, nothing more.
This is the Rushmore Show where it's all about your top 4 and nothing more. Andy, it's Thursday. You know what that means. We're climbing another mountain and we're over on short side and regular side. Tell us where you're at. There it is. Hey, if you're over on the Twitch side, let us know. If you're on wherever you're at, say hello in the chat. We have a great show tonight. We are doing top 4 console defining games. We have 2 great guys, Saturn Steve and GameCube Galaxy. We'll get them out here in a second. Andy, there's so much going on, man. The Olympics is starting. Our first year ever being on the show. We did an Olympic show because it was 4 years ago. It's making me reminisce really good. Koi Fish is in the house. Dusty's in the house. Say hello. GameCube Galaxy's in the house. Kenneth was just here. There it is. So, hey, look, Super Bowl's rolling through. Kevin's in the house. Game member for 7 months. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. We will drop another video tonight for you, Koi Fish. And hey, but don't want to stay in this too long. We're limited on time compared to the past. So I do want to get our guys out. But Andy, Super Bowl's coming up. Softball for NCAA just started today. And what else is happening? And I was talking, the Olympics. And so sports is booming. We're almost done with video games. We're rolling into February. We've got a great February plan for you guys. There are some big conventions coming up. We've got Rocket City Retro Fest that's in Huntsville. That's this weekend. We're going to be in a few conventions. Things are happening everywhere. If you're in the 23 in the chat already, say hello. Welcome to the show. And let's get this thing started, Andy. Andy, you got anything you want to tell the friends?
I love all of you.
I love all of you too. All right. Oh, by the way, the record is 42.
42.
With this short thing, we might blow that away. But you're on shorts, so maybe
24 right now.
42. But let's do this thing, Andy. You ready with that beautiful bean footage?
Are you ready? Wow, yes, let's get it.
Hey, so top 4 console defining games. Let's get it. All right, let's get our guys out here, our guests, the people that you guys really want to see. We're going to bring on the stage for his second time ever. Welcome in, Patrick. And I see him right there in the chat, throwing a little heart. Let's get our guy Saturn Steve out. He was on last year about this time with Manny's Arcade, who's on next week. Saturn Steve, come on down. You're the next contestant on Climbing This Mountain. What's up?
Hey.
Man?
Yeah, I told him I said I wasn't going to do it with Manny. No, actually, Manny said he'd had enough of me to last him a whole year, so he's going to do it next week instead. But no.
Hey, and so look, I reached out to you, and you're like, hey, let's figure it out. I got a good buddy, and I've been meaning to meet this guy. I've seen him in the community, in the chat. People just love him. Welcome to the show, our new friend, Marcello from GameCube Galaxy. Welcome on in, Marcello. Hey, Yogo UZ. Welcome in, Yogo. Hi, how are you doing? We call this the Summit Squad, Yogo, and we're going to climb a mountain today. doing our top 4 favorite games that define a console. Welcome to the Summit School. What that means is you're going to take a little journey down memory lane. We call it nostalgia therapy. And, we got already a prayer request, I think. Rest in peace, my great. No, that's not it. My goodness. Walter White's in the house.
Just pray for the guy who posted it.
Yeah, pray for that guy who posted it. Yeah. And that's what happens when you're on the short side. We get all kinds of people from all over. Hi from India. Welcome in. Hey, so if you're here, hit the like button before you head out, at least. That would be cool. And if you like it, subscribe. You'll see us next week every Thursday at this time. So here's the deal. We've let's have you guys share what you guys are all about, because you're the real stars here. Saturn Steve, you're going to go second because you're going to kick the show off. So Marcello, tell us all about GameCube Galaxy. Why the GameCube? What's going on over your channel? Where can people find you? And yeah, it's your little space to welcome in all our friends, our new friends from India, over here to your channel.
All right. So GameCube Galaxy is a passion project I came up with back in late 2019. It was an idea that just came about. I had a previous channel. I started covering GameCube stuff on that point, and very, very briefly. And it was a moment where I was like, you know what? I grew up with this console. This was the one console that was so near and dear to me that I've never seen anybody do high quality content for the library and the console itself. We've seen so many channels now that do the NES, the SNES, the Genesis, all the older retro stuff. And at that point, I was like, the GameCube was reaching its 20th anniversary. So what better time than to finally do a proper channel covering anything and everything GameCube related? And sure enough, the console did gain far more traction in the collector scene throughout the years recently. And so for me, it was all about trying to do the library justice and the console justice. So I wanted to do in-depth reviews. I wanted to do top 10 articles. I wanted to do topic-based videos. My channel is very heavily inspired by channels like GameSack, where I will cover, if I do a topic-based video, for example, I will come up with, let's say, underrated GameCube games, and I'll cover 10 picks. Or, I'll come up with, PlayStation icons that jumped over to the GameCube. And I try to come up with like some fun takes that gives a chance for me to cover a variety of the library. But currently the channel we're approaching about 16,000 subscribers right now. And there's about 130 plus videos that I've made on the channel. I've had many of the awesome content creators. Steve is one of them that has collaborated on the channel as well at times. And if you love the GameCube, I promise you that the content there will not disappoint you. There is plenty of content. It is all done in-house. All the footage you see is all captured by me. All the editing is done by me. Everything. I'm a one-man shop basically for the content that you see, and it's a passion project, like I said. And actually, in 2 months, it'll be the 5-year anniversary of the channel.
Nice. Congratulations.
Amazing. Hey, just a shout out to a couple people, our new friends that are in here. Soaring Star Seed, welcome in. We have to shout out our kids, huh? These kiddos, my children, Livia, Sahasra, and Yuvin. Welcome to the show. And of course, Prime is in the house, and Isaac. Isaac, he met my wife before the baby. Okay.
So, Isaac, yes. So we did meet, and I was reading that while I was trying to do my intro. Yes, Isaac, No Bars Torado, legendary guy. I was at Free Play Florida back in November 2024. Pac-Man Case was actually a special guest alongside me at that convention. And No Bars actually lives several hours from where I live. So when he heard about this convention, he had told me, I want to go over there and meet you. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So he came with his wife who was pregnant at the time. And so shout out to No Bars for becoming a father.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was an awesome moment. He actually was extremely gracious. He got myself and Andy, Pac-Man Case, a certain item that he actually felt would be meaningful to us. And it was like a special gift, which was not expecting. And actually, he got me a PAL region copy for the PlayStation 2 of Masters of the Universe, the He-Man game that came out back in the early 2000s. And what I found wild was he picked up on just one aspect of that. Was I actually took a screenshot of a Nintendo Power issue where they actually reviewed a GameCube copy of Masters of the Universe. It was canceled. It never got released. It's to this day technically still a version of the game that never got dumped online for anybody to play. I was always fascinated by that, so I shared that. He happened to catch that and get me the PS2 version from the PAL region because it was exclusively released in the PAL region only on the PS2. It was absolutely legendary of him to do that. So it's really cool. And I still have that.
Masters of the Universe. Both Andy and I are youth pastors, and we partner with a couple people. One of them is the Geek Devotions, and tomorrow Geek Devotions made a mistake. They invited me to be the one speaking for their show tomorrow night, and I've already filmed it, sent it over, and it's a sermonette on the new trailer for Motu. So the new Master of the Universe. So you guys should go check out Geek Devotions.
All right.
Tomorrow. But anyways, hey Saturn Steve, how are you? Says Prime. Howdy Prime says Coy. You're just getting to know each other. If you're down in the chat, drop your channels. Oh, there's Owazram. Been following him. Being a little he's playing a little Expedition 33 the last few days, and it's pretty awesome to watch him play that.
That is time well spent.
Yeah. So hey, so let's jump over to our other friend, Steve. Share what's going over on Saturn Steve's channel. He's not nearly as good at editing and videos and things as you, Markel. That's what he told me beforehand. You're like the god of that, and he is just trying to be. But tell us what you can find on Saturn Steve's channel.
It's not. Look, it is uncontrolled chaos on my channel. So, first of all, this is so Marcello is one of my best friends, and we have a lot in common. But what we don't have in common is how structured we are, because he is very, very structured. He's very organized, and you guys have seen my video. If you have seen my videos, you know. If you've met me in person at conventions, you know I am all over the place. My brain is like a pinball in the machine with all the lights.
Marcello, if we run late, I know who to blame.
But as far as the channel goes, I started out. So Saturn Steve is a channel, and it started out kind of as a meme because I had an old Sega Saturn shirt. And our buddies over at Jared and Eric at Retro Gaming Pandemic and Travis Wood, Woodman Classics.
Well, Jared's going to be on in a few weeks, too.
Yeah, shout out Jared. He'll be on here, and Eric, too, even though I don't think he's going to make the show. But they decided they liked the shirt. I thought they called me Saturn Steve. Apparently, I did it to myself. But that's all good because the Saturn was something that gets way underrepresented, and people think that, even though it was a commercial failure here in the States, that the system just entirely sucked, and it couldn't be more wrong. I've come to love it more and more as I've gotten older, but I don't just do Saturn stuff. I do a lot of hunting stuff, a lot of shenanigans with the rest of the guys. To me, the heart of my channel is more about the friendships that come along more so than the game. So you'll see Marcello on my videos whenever I can have him. Pac-Man Case, Arkansas Picker, Retro Wolf, the whole gang that you'll see on the Rushmore Show lineups. We're all friends in real life, and to me, I like that to really come across the sense of community in my videos. I'm not as regular with my production as Marcello is. It's not because I'm busier. It's because I am busy, but I'm also less organized. So that's really it. But no, thank you guys for having me. If you haven't, go over to my channel. I'm working on a video. I've been working on it today. I'm editing it myself.
Mort wants to know if we're friends.
Always, Mort. Always.
And Manny's in the chat. Manny will be on next Thursday. Sega Saturn had two 32-bit processors. Now that's power.
Yeah, and Manny, I told them that you refused to do another show with me, and that's okay. I don't blame you.
Actually, if let me correct it before that gets out there. Manny's like, hey, just shout out to Steve. We could do it again. Let's run it back. And I said,
Manny, my boy.
and I
Absolutely.
said, and by the way, Manny was the one that was supposed to be this week that I asked to move because Marcello could do it this week. So you actually asked me to move him off this spot, technically. And he moved over, but he's going to be with one of my best friends, Kevin, who's also in the chat. But that's right here. He'll be on with him next week. So, and Mort, by the way, is going to come on this time in a few weeks for movies and TV. We haven't nailed out the
Nice.
the topic yet, but he's a big movie star guy now. So he's going to be moving into that world. But Patrick's in the house, Manny's in the house. Gosh, all you guys are amazing. Say hello to each other. Share your channels. This is a great community. Have everybody go. Yeah, Mort the creator. Mort is the pinnacle of creator. I don't know, man. So that's just really awesome. Hey, so you guys are amazing. Let's do this. So Steve, you're up first. We're talking about console defining games. I thought of that as like if in my mind's eye, we all have a criteria.
Yep.
In my idea was like, this is the game that if you only had one game for the console, the one that can show it off the best, or brag about it the best, the most played game, most popular game. It could be all these things.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me why you picked these games before you picked them.
Yep.
Criteria matters.
So
Criteria matters.
I'll tell you what my philosophy was on this. And, I deviated from that sometimes, right? But for me, I wanted, my goal was to find a game. Now, I wasn't thinking, it doesn't necessarily have to be the one that sold the most, the one that shows off the power of the system or whatever. Although that could be part of it, right? But to me, I wanted a game that was sort of the spiritual embodiment of what that system was at that time in historical context. And I think that'll be kind of evident as I go through my picks, especially when I get to number one.
That.
You'll see what I mean.
Start for your criteria. Mort wants to know who's going to Rocket City. I'll start. I am going to attempt to bring me and my dude down there. It's about a 4.5 hour drive from here, 4 and some change. And I think I might make it up there Saturday if I can. This is kind of a Saturday we have off of things, so it's a potential. But after this weekend, it is full on either convention or baseball or something every weekend till like Christmas. So I thought it might be a time where I just hang out with the fam. So we might make it down, we might not. I know Andy can't. Andy's in Louisiana. But are you? I know Saturn. You're there. Marcello, you going?
No, unfortunately for me, it's like a 12-hour drive, and there's no way I can make that happen.
Yeah.
So
I know there's
life right now is
a
busy
ton
for
of
me.
people there. I know that I've been seeing the videos left and right. So I would love to make it with my dude and go rub shoulders with some of these cool folks again. I want to see all your beautiful faces. Yeah, we do too. So
sorry,
except
Mort.
for
I see the sad face.
YouTube will have to do more. YouTube will have to do. You can see our faces here.
Yeah, can't complain. Like, all right. Mort Scorsese. I like that. Mort Scorsese. I love that. That's a good one. All right, so you're first, Saturn. And
all right.
This is number 4. We call him Rosie. Arbitrarily, we think Roosevelt was the 4th best of the guys on the faces of the mountain.
Oof,
who's your Rosie and why? And I'm going to tell you why it's not right.
So this is tough. But for my pick, my 4, my Rosie is Super Mario 64.
Wow.
Right out the bat with all these 64 guys in here.
But one of the I mentioned that I picked. I tried to pick my picks around a game that embodied what the philosophy or the spirit of the system was, and the N64 for Nintendo was a system that really, first of all, was a first real leap into 3D, right? So one of the things that Nintendo, the creatives, had to kind of decide is, well, now that I have this 3D capability, right? How do I translate my 2D franchises into a game that's equally as fun now that I have a completely different dimension to be able to create in. So Mario 64 especially, and I thought about others. I thought about Wave Race. I thought about some Banjo-Kazooie. But it had to be Mario 64 because it was designed to be the flagship of that sort of 3D design, right? You know, control or you know, being able to move it by analog, which is also a first. You know, remember we all got that. We didn't know how to hold the controller. We didn't know what to make of being able to push a little bit, walk a little bit, and it was a completely different design approach that only was possible because of the evolution in hardware. So, you know, it really let us focus on an immersive spatial exploration that that we had never been able to do before. So I think to me that's why Mario 64 perfectly embodies what the Nintendo 64 was all about. Also, I was pretty sure Marcello might pick that.
And look, Marcello, just to remind you, we can match from that first set, but we're not going to tell everybody. So
no. That's okay. I actually in anticipation because I know Steve. I know Steve well enough. I was like, I'm going to have that, but I've got a contingency plan, so I'm going to make sure I'm not repeating.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. That's a great pick. And I know better with the present company to disrespect the 64 too bad, but I just didn't have one. And I didn't have one, and my buddy had one when I was stationed in New Mexico in the Air Force. I was the PlayStation guy. He came over to play. Everybody came to my house to play PlayStation. We went to his to play 64. And then I never got one after that. And 64 is not going to be on my list tonight. It's just not one of those systems that impacted me, and I'll talk about that more in my criteria. But if I was going to pick one, this was one of the 4 or so games that I would have thrown a dart and been like, it's definitely the defining game. So I agree. But Andy loves 64. Andy, this might come up later for you, but what do you think about this?
I'll just say this. That's a great game. That's all I have to say about it because...
Okay. Well, that means if we read between the lines, that means...
I didn't say anything. I didn't give anything away, Kirk. I'm just telling... I'm agreeing that is a great game.
I mean, Isaac knows the thing.
Also, by the way, this side note to this, we've done video game music before. For a kid born in 1989, the music in Super Mario 64 might be the best Mario music. I know that's a very hot take. I understand the iconic.
That's facts.
I get it.
Easy, youngins. Okay, easy.
He speaks facts.
I'm going to say this.
Kids, let the adults have the conversation.
If I want to go to sleep, if I just want to be calm and I throw on Dire Dire Docks, I mean, it is one of the greatest songs. Also, maybe
you shouldn't preface it with "if I want to go to sleep." If you're trying to,
Well, I'm just saying to be calm. I mean, it's such a calming.
Hey, look at that one. Put some clothes. Hey, Daphne. Anyways, so he's moving, by the way, so he doesn't have any of the backdrops going on.
There's so many things happening in here.
There's so many things happening.
This is a great game.
Andy's deflecting the potential Rushmore. Andy said Pokemon Snap is the best shooter of all time. He didn't do that.
I said it's the best shoot 'em up of all time. Very different. It is a rail shooter, and you can rely on the hill that Pokemon Snap is a rail shooter. You're just shooting.
I mean, Andy, if we're going to have anything controversial that's coming out of Andy's mouth tonight, I promise. Marcello, you said you liked this game, but you're up next. Yeah. And you said it was your pick. Maybe this is where you go 64 and you pick a different game. But you can tell us a little bit about Mario 64, but you also can drop your pick if you'd like.
Yeah, no. So
I'm going to flip a coin between this and what the other one is, and I think Marcello's going to pick it.
Okay, let's see if you know me well enough, Steve. It is going to be for the 64, and for me, that first pick for tonight is going to be The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yes, sir. I love my people here tonight.
So I so for me, the Zelda franchise wasn't synonymous for me until that game. So I played the original briefly and the second one briefly on the NES. We never owned it originally. I used to play that like at my friend's house. And then I remember playing A Link to the Past on an emulator on my brother's PC, and I was really enjoying that. And he saw me playing that. So that Christmas of 98, he surprised me and got me The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64. And when I fired that game up, I was immediately consumed by the world. For me, back in 1998, this was a revolutionary take on the Zelda formula. And much like was just mentioned before with Mario 64 being the best soundtrack, at least for the Mario games for sure, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, for me, that had the best soundtrack, bar none. But also, I love the temples. I love the story. I love the world itself. I felt like the combat was very, very intuitive for what it was, translating it from a 2D space that was a top-down view into this 3D space with the Z targeting, and just everything about the game was just immensely engrossing, all the way till the very end. And that's a game that even when you get to the finale, to me, to this day, is still the best finale of any Zelda game. Like, nothing even comes close to the finale of Ocarina of Time to any other Zelda game that's out there. It's a game that showcased the hardware. It was ambitious. It was ahead of its time. It really was an absolute essential on the N64.
Mm-hmm. I love this pick so much, and I'm loving the representation of the 64 early on. But let me say this. There's a lot of games that when I bought the N64 again and just kind of going through nostalgia and all that stuff, that are beloved games that just maybe for one reason or the other don't hold up quite the same today, right? But Ocarina of Time is you will play it with no complaints today. I love this game. It's a beautiful game. It was beautiful then. It's so replayable. It is just, I love this game. I love everything that's happening right now. But Ocarina of Time,
I can't disagree with the pick for 64, but I will disagree every time if it's considered the best Zelda. That's just not me, because I didn't play it. But Zelda is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I have played Ocarina. I have not played it all the way through. I have not beat it just because 64. I've got this emulator system, and I've been meaning, that's been the game that I've got to finally do. And so, because everybody will not only say it's the best Zelda of all time, they'll say it's the best game of all time. I mean, it's there in many places, but I can't disagree with the pick as far as defining the console. That was the game. If I wanted a 64, that would have been the first one I purchased. That I would say that. And so I just never got a 64. So, and I don't have them all in a box on a wall and trying to figure out if I'm doing green or blue. That's just wild. Calling Mort out, but yeah, man. So this is a good pick, man. Good pick, Steve. Why did you pick Zelda?
What's that?
Why'd you pick Mario instead of Zelda? What you got?
Because Mario came out first. If there was no Mario, Mario 64 launched so that Banjo-Kazooie could run, which Banjo-Kazooie to me is an infinitely better game. I think Andy was talking about games that don't necessarily hold up. I actually think Mario 64 does not hold up that well in terms of playability, but it cut the mold. And if it weren't for that game, we wouldn't. I mean, maybe in some form we would have, but we wouldn't have had Banjo-Kazooie. We would not have had Ocarina of Time. So that's why.
Yeah.
I love this pick. Good job. And Andy loves Banjo and Kazooie. Andy, by the way, I don't know if you saw it. Rocket City Retro Fest has Kazooie the puppet going to be there.
Yeah, I know. I wish it would be there. I really do.
May I? If you guys have not seen this, I think at this point most people probably know Travis Woodman. He's a friend of the entire community. He's an incredibly talented guy, and he works professionally, like Hollywood professionally, with studio props. He has a fantastic video on his YouTube channel. It is Woodman Classics on YouTube that shows him getting this. It was a one-time use professional puppet of Kazooie. It's
And it was like 10 seconds. It wasn't even 10 seconds. It was like 2.5 seconds.
Footage in the commercial from back in 1998. And anyway, he does a complete restoration on it. It has mechanical parts, and he does a professional restoration of that.
Honestly,
really
I had known Woodman. I had followed him. I followed him from the community, and that was the video that I was like, bro, this guy is different.
His talent level and his knowledge of
that whole puzzle piece remote that he designed and made and all that.
That was incredible. He had a little cheeky, incredible stuff. So also he is one of the new co-runners of Retro City Rocket City Retro Fest. So go check that out.
With Retro Beard and Pixel Parts.
Yeah, and they didn't ask me if I wanted to do it, but that's fine. I'm not bitter.
Well, this is a great pick. Good start. Andy, are you going 64 off the bat? I doubt it because that's your favorite system. Where you headed?
I'm going to break the trend for now. But criteria-wise, it was almost like word association for me. Like if you threw a console out, what's the first game that comes to my mind? That at least got me started because, just if that's the first one that comes to my mind, obviously there's a reason that like it's defining, right? A lot of it is, you just can't separate this game from that console. Some games, some franchises were multiple consoles. So I kind of looked away from those ones. These are the ones that are like just for this one. This is what I think of. Also, I played all of these ones, right? So if you know me, I do love nostalgia in video games, but I'm not one of those guys that played every single game, right? Much like with my movies, I find the things I like and I play them a billion times, right? So that's kind of where I was at with this. And my first pick, my Rosie, probably coming in really strong with this one. I remember my neighbor had this growing up. I actually did not have this console, but my neighbor did, and we would go over there all the time, and we would play this, and it was fun to play this multiplayer. It was fun to, you could do the campaign mode in it and everything too. But I'm going to the Xbox. And we're going Halo right off the bat. I mean, is there a game that screams a console more than Halo screams Xbox? I'm not sure. It's in my Rosie because of not having the Xbox itself, myself personally. But I remember, again, like I said, going to his house, playing the multiplayer versions of this game, and just having a blast. Master Chief, getting the sword, doing all the fun stuff. This was one of those games where I remember living it and playing and being like, I don't know if video games can get better than this. I'm not sure if we can do anything different than with video games or better, because it just was fun, fantastic. And then obviously the franchise has taken off since then. So I'm going to go Master Chief and Halo with my Rosie. Now, again, I'm not saying that the original Halo was the best of them, right? Many people are going to say other ones, but if we're just talking about defining games, Halo in general, I mean, there you go, right there. This was it's a
great pick. I literally, before you even said it, I was kind of moving my list around and trying to figure out what I wanted to put my top 4 in, because I was like, I've got all these games. Did I really pick a 4 order yet? And I had it at the 4th spot, and I moved it to the 5th, and you went on Xbox Halo, and I was like,
took a bit.
All right, well, I just lost my first honorable mention, and so there it is. I won't be able to pick that later, and I kind of thought it was going to get picked today, but for the same reasons. Xbox, in the lack of playing time here in my house ever, I have it, I've played it, but I'm not a professional like everybody else. But it is definitely the defining game, I think, for that system. So I had it for sure.
You guys fans of Halo, or how we feel?
So I'm probably gonna have a hot take, and I understand the impact that the game had, and I very much enjoyed the multiplayer aspect. But when it comes to the campaign of Halo, I actually legitimately fell asleep with the controller in my hand multiple times because I was like, wow, the level design's really boring in this game. I kept thinking, I was like, I'd rather be playing X, Y, and Z FPS. I remember thinking I'd rather go back to my 64 and play Perfect Dark. I'd rather fire up my GameCube and play Time Splitters. I liked faster paced FPSs, and that was my thing. I realized that Halo is a little bit slower paced. Like it felt a little weightier, right?
Got it. Yeah.
But the multiplayer, I had a blast with it with friends. No denying that at all.
Yeah.
So you said something specifically that lost me. FPS.
Oh yeah. If you know Kirk, he is the worst first-person shooter. I mean, just
here. Let me show you my impression, Marcello. You're new. Here's me. Oh, I'm dead. Somebody shot me. Well, I was looking at the sky.
it almost felt unfair playing him in GoldenEye. Like we played GoldenEye here, and I was like, I feel
so
like
bad. I wish I was better. I know it's like
Mark, it's like me playing Helldivers.
That is comical, actually.
Andy bought a 64 at one of these conventions we were at. He's like, "All right, let's play GoldenEye." It's like, dude, I haven't played GoldenEye in like 15 years.
Apparently ever.
Let's hook it up. We're in there playing, and for like the first campaign we're playing, I spent I don't know, that first campaign was probably like 8 minutes that we were kind of chasing each other around. For about 7 of them, I was staring at the wall trying to figure out how to get off of it. I was like, dude, and I look on his screen because, you know, that's just it. And he's standing right behind me, like watching me be an idiot, trying to get out from where, I'm like, dude, I suck at these so bad. Hey, yeah. Halo 2, Sean's in the house. Dude, Sean is one of our favorite people. Sean, we need you back on the channel. Need it. I was thinking about that last night while I was in Vintage's channel. We gotta have you back on. Can't wait. He's been on several times. And yeah. So Isaac, this is Marcello talking to Isaac. So yeah, great stuff, man. This game is. I was picking it because of the impact on the industry, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
maybe I should have
pulled it off. FPS,
in
Xbox. It's just not. It's not my go-to. But I was picking it in my top 4, kind of because of the impact. So I took it off. It would have been my first honorable mention if it made it.
That's so. Again, criteria-wise, it's more so for me. It's not that I don't like these games, and it's not that these are the greatest games. It's really the defining game of the console. I mean, and I know that's what we're talking about, but
right, and that's perfect because that's going to lead to me, and this is going to be a hot take, especially on our channel, because on our channel, you know, most people know we are. Well, I'll get into that in a second, but my criteria is similar. Like, what was the impact that it had? Did it change the game? Like, not the game, but the game of video games, right? Like, did it bring something new? When you think of the console, what's the first couple games you think of? Is it at least one of those? And if it's the number one, then probably. And then what was the game that, man, when I had it, I wanted to have it. And so I've got almost every one of them except for one that I wanted to, out of the systems I got, probably right here. A couple of them I have 2 games, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go to. But my first one is going to be my favorite system of all time. But it's probably my most controversial game. And, you know, Andy and I are both youth pastors. I would not endorse this game, but back in the day, I had to.
You do it?
Yeah. I'm going Grand Theft Auto 3 from PlayStation 2. I wouldn't endorse this today. This was before Christ. This is, and I actually was talking with my kids, not just my kids, but I teach. And the kids in my school are like, Mr. Pete, they call me Mr. Pete. Do you play video games? I'm like, yeah. You ever played Grand Theft Auto 5? And I'm like, no, I played 3. And I played Vice City. And I played San Andreas. I got all those over there on the shelf. But I retired playing from crude and ridiculous themed games then. And the fact that this new one's going to be like $2 billion is just ringing in my head. It's just wild. But the PlayStation 2 is my favorite system, and this is one of the reasons it was games like this, because Grand Theft Auto 1 was okay. I mean, it wasn't even something that you would consider defining for the Nintendo. Like, it was just a regular old whatever. It's very forgettable. But when this came out, it was the talk. I remember I had eye surgery at the same time, and which is funny because my eye surgery just stopped working this year, 20 something years, and I remember like playing the game, recovering, and just spending time and loving the side quests, the side campaigns the most. I never was the go beat it guy in this game. It's just too much. I loved getting in the cars and trying to get the police to chase me with 5 stars and see if I could get it back to 1. That was my favorite part of the game, stealing the tank. But yeah, I love, so Andy, I see you there. The music to me, Vice City, San Andreas, way better. But as
100%.
far as defining like what did it all, I had to go with the original. I got the other two over there. Almost grabbed Vice City because I'm an 80s guy. But when I think about the console defining game, what changed the game for PlayStation 2 and a lot of the things that happened, I have another 1 or 2 up here. And I was like, I have to do it. I'm going with a real controversial pick on this channel, Grand Theft Auto 3.
This always brings back memories for me.
This is a great pick. There's a lot of chat in the chat about Vice City. You know, I for obvious reason, that's a great
I
one.
didn't say, look, Vice City's a better game. I think San Andreas is a better game than Vice City. I like Vice City more. I think this one's the defining moment when it changed the game for him.
I remember playing GTA like before numbers were involved, and the overhead view and the all of those. It was just not a great. I mean, it was a cool concept, but bringing it to the 3D side of things and
That was a complete game changer for sure.
yeah, complete game changer there for sure. So I love this pick. I do love this pick.
Well, the interesting part too is that you bring up Grand Theft Auto 1, and it was just like you said, it was just an okay game, and Grand Theft Auto 2 kind of the same thing, right? It was kind of just this over the top, top down view, open world game, but they weren't great games to play. They weren't even that much fun. At least I didn't think so. I tried playing those before 3 even came out, but for me, it was more interesting is the history of 3 being made is because theoretically the concept started with a game on the N64 called Body Harvest. The same developers of that went on to make Grand Theft Auto 3. So seeing its origins start off as actually one-off.
Look, it was such a bad influence. It made Manny skip school.
But yeah, I mean, I find that fascinating. But GTA 3 I love that pick. Fantastic pick. Personally, I love that game.
Let's just be clear and say that
this comment, but it was complete opposite. I wanted to just wreak havoc. I didn't want to complete anything. I wanted to, as many stars as I could get, running around the town and cops coming everywhere and seeing if I could find a way out of it. That was my favorite thing about the whole game.
Yeah.
And then of course, like when you get a tank or something crazy, I'm speaking GTA big picture.
Yes.
Some of them have different things, but that was my favorite part. Definitely.
Yeah, GTAs are all basically the same game to me because that's how I play them. I mean, especially back then, I was a wrecking ball of a human anyway. So that just translated into the game. I pick up the controller, I'm like, let's go break some stuff. I want to blow stuff up. I want to punch a hooker in the face. I'm sorry, but whatever it was, that was my jam. I didn't care about story. I didn't care about missions. I just wanted to absolutely destroy whatever it was.
Hey, you bring up a good point. I probably wouldn't have bought Vice City or San Andreas because they were like almost the same game if it wouldn't have been for the soundtrack and the
Vice City,
idea
100%.
of it being 80s and hip hop culture. It's almost the same game.
Me. Yep, that's what got me. And really, Vice City is the only one that I really got into. My Rockstar games were Vice City, Bully, and LA Noire. And then if I picked up a GTA, I just wanted to blow stuff up. That's it. There he goes. There he is.
Hold on. Let me get this background.
All right. Hang on with the flex.
Hold on. I got the flex. Hold on. All right.
You got it.
Yeah. So
there we go.
There you
go.
The box set, baby.
Come on.
I want you to rip that now, right?
I have them ripped. I'll send you the Google Drive link for it.
Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Hey, look, just throwing this out there. We got to get cooking, or we're gonna lose a guest. So
Yeah.
we've now completed our first round, and Steve,
All right.
you're up, and
All right.
start us off. This is round 2, but it's your number 3 pick.
Number 3. What
We call him
president?
TJ Jazzy Jeff. It's Thomas Jefferson.
That's right,
Who's your
TJ.
third pick?
Well, TJ Jazzy Jeff is a perfect president to represent my next game, which is Jet Set Radio.
Oh yeah.
Dreamcast. This was the same. I had the same approach when I picked Jet Grind Radio. I picked it up way before it came out in the States, or as soon as I could in Japan, because that game was just, again, something that completely embodied the Dreamcast. Just like I said with Mario 64 for the N64, the Dreamcast, the creators were just itching to get their claws into a hardware jump that gave them extra design potential, right? So you saw that with Jet Set Radio, because obviously the first thing you saw was the cel-shaded graphics.
Yes.
Granted now, because every cookie cutter anime game you look at is cel-shaded, but back then, I think they were the first ones to do it. So you had cel-shaded graphics. The art style was so unique, and that's the thing. Each one of these systems had games that had their own unique style to them, that kind of on a cumulative level built the identity of the system. So I think these systems have unique identities. Jet Set Radio did that. They were willing to take risks with the design, with the gameplay. I don't know. Marcello probably will know off the top of his head, but I don't think the Tony Hawk games were out yet. If they were, it was, they were contemporary. So
They were.
yeah. So you have, that's right, because Tony Hawk 2 came out alongside this.
Yes.
So, I mean, inline skating, like around a cityscape that you could not have made on any generations prior to the Dreamcast. You can't talk about that game without talking about what, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 50 for its style and presentation. Between the cel-shaded graphics, the colors and the artwork, the thumbing your nose at the government authorities, to especially the music. It just, I mean, Hideki Naganuma, funk, hip hop, J-pop, electronic trance. It was all in there. The soundtrack alone was worth playing that game for. But if you picked it up for the soundtrack, you would keep playing it because the presentation was something you've never seen before, never seen since, really, except for games that are spiritual successors to that. So I think the risks they were willing to take, the style and aesthetic that they did with this, the gameplay, the cityscapes that they built out, were something that you only would see on a system like the Dreamcast. So.
Nice.
I'll go first, just because I have very little Dreamcast experience, but this game, if I was to pick, this was my pick. Yeah, I mean, this is the one out of all that I'm like, yeah, I love this game. Its looks, its aesthetic, and of course the music. I congratulate this pick for sure. Welcome, Gamer Aimer, in. It's good to see you back. A great choice for sure. And No Bar says music is underrated as well.
Dude, I think it's
Marcello,
so
you like this game?
So what's funny is that Steve is showcasing the copy that I gave to him.
Hey,
That's right. I mean, in exchange for money, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I sold it to you for a great price.
hey guys, our friend Dusty, great content creator. He dropped a video today. Y'all go check that out. Anyways,
he's a PokeTuber. Go check that.
A PokeTuber and a video gamer, so he's a gamer. So awesome,
great.
Awesome. That's funny. Hey, look, if you ever want to just hand games around, Marcella, I can move some storage. I got plenty of room.
Well, it's funny. I did a claim sale, and then it was this was a few years ago now. And Steve had mentioned how he was interested in it, so I just told him, I was like, I know I asked for a certain price, but for you, dude, like we'll knock that down. Like we'll make that work.
Honestly, when I was a kid, I never knew anybody. Well, Kevin, he might be in the chat. Kevin's the only guy that had everything known to man. But I didn't know anybody else that had a Dreamcast or had some of these more eclectic systems. I never played them. And then as I got older, I got a chance to kind of pick up some or play them here and there. But yeah, this is just one of those that I haven't played.
Yeah, my neighbor had a Dreamcast, and I played a Sonic game on it. I don't remember which one. There was some Sonic game I remember playing on it. That may be my only experience with the Dreamcast. I've seen it, and I do love the cell shading. Cell shading makes me think of Wind Waker. Going back to our Zelda talk earlier, but I love that style for sure.
There he is. I knew it.
Yeah.
I imported a DC. Just couldn't wait for the MVC one. Yeah.
And gosh, all the Street Fighter, man. All right, so real quick on this, I hate that you guys missed it because the leap between what Gen 5, right, Marcello, at that point to wherever you consider the Dreamcast was
Gen 6.
I mean,
I can remember as a kid, I never knew any. I was like, how do you even know how to get one from Japan? Where do we go for that? There wasn't the internet then.
You
we knew it all. Like, I'm like, what? You have the special phone number? How do you?
I was the guy you went to back then, but but I think of all the systems from Atari to probably PlayStation 2, maybe PlayStation 3. And I'm not saying it's my favorite system; they're my favorite games. But I think that the Dreamcast existed at the right point in time to have its most unique identity, more so than any other system. And I can go on about that for ages, but I won't. But
that's a whole other topic to dive into.
We love that choice. All right. Well, look, we're going to run out of time. Marcello, drop in your next pick.
So my next pick, oh man. So this is what I was torn on because I'm looking at them right now. But I have to say this one was so instrumental to me. So for me, what are we on the top? What was the term you used that you said?
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Jazzy
like
Jeff.
DJ Jazz. Yeah. So Thomas Jefferson.
So my pick for Thomas Jefferson says I'm gonna go to the PlayStation 2, and this is a Capcom game that when I played it blew my mind to what was capable for action gaming. And for me, that pick was Devil May Cry 1. That game was the moment where I was like, I want a PlayStation 2. Like, this was the game that made me go, like, I want a PlayStation 2 for this. I've never seen anything like this before. You've got, Shinji Mikami and Hideki Kamiya working together to make this, what they called, like, the ultimate action game, or, like, the most awesome action game. There was nothing like it in the market. Like, at the time, we were playing games like Resident Evil, which is a survival horror, and then Onimusha came out for the PlayStation 2 as well, which was kind of their action take and kind of survival horror in feudal Japan. But Devil May Cry made you feel like this absolute badass with an incredibly fluid combat system of playing as Dante using his ebony and ivory dual pistols and the Alistair sword, and then you get all this badass weaponry like the shotgun and the there's a variety of other things I'm blanking at right now. And everything about the game just oozed this sense of style and coolness factor that playing the game itself, you just felt as awesome as Dante himself in the game. The game was quite a challenge, but it was immensely gratifying to play. The soundtrack is, like, for me, top tier PlayStation 2 era music. Still holds up so spectacularly today. It has a sense of atmosphere that just is on another level. It's a game that, like I said, at the end of the day, I've played this game. Oh my God, I must have done at least 15 playthroughs of this. I beat it on every difficulty. I then did it again on the HD collections. And to this day, it's still like my number one PS2 game that I would always go back to because it was the reason that I wanted that platform. It was the reason that I knew that we could take action games to a whole new level.
Nice. Kirk, you played this?
So I picked this one up at the last convention we were at, I think, Andy, or maybe the one before that, for a whopping $5. I was like,
that's
bro,
the best $5 right there.
I have not had it. I haven't had it in a long time. And then now that I started collecting PS2 again, it's like, man, I gotta get it. $5, please. That's a steal.
That is a
great game.
steal, dude.
That is a steal.
Totally
that game
awesome
is
game.
so replayable.
Yeah, I've not played this game, to be honest with you. This was a game that was like, it was one of those games, again, PS2. So this came out, what, 01, I think?
Yes, October of 01.
01. Yeah, so I was still playing my 64, and I was still probably, I was GameCube. I mean, I don't know, GameCube was a little bit.
The GameCube came out in November of 2001. And like
Yes.
I was pushing to get myself a PlayStation 2 instead of a GameCube because of this game.
I just was a Nintendo guy. I think Nintendo was always. I had a PS2, and I really like played Madden on PS2. I was like, I rented some other games. So I loved the Warriors. Now I wouldn't necessarily call that like the game defining game. It's a defining game, but that on PS2 was. But anyway, so I this was one of those games that just was not one. It looks like one I would play, right? For sure. It's not an RPG, so that's good. So
well, yeah, it's not an RPG.
Yeah, there you
He doesn't like RPGs. If y'all are RPG fans, just saying.
I just don't.
Well,
That makes me want to change my next pick.
yeah. You gotta change your next thing.
But we didn't.
I'm changing it on the fly in real time.
We had Pick and Preacher on, and before he got sick, actually we've had him on 3 times, and he was like, my favorite thing's RPGs. Can we do RPGs? And he was like, I hate RPGs.
Pokemon. There we go. We'll do that.
And yeah, he had pretty much a straight Pokemon list. So that was that. So yeah. This is a good pick, man. Good pick. Way to start us off, Marcello. In this half. So Andy.
Yeah.
You got an RPG in there that you want to throw out?
Yes, my first RPG today is thrown in the trash because that's where it belongs. I'm going to go, Marcello. I think I'm going to get into your territory here with this one. I'm going with the GameCube, and what I think defines the GameCube, in my opinion, you can go so many different ways. I know you could pick a million different things. Not saying it's one of my favorite games. Maybe not the number one game on the GameCube, but to me, it just was what it is. And who knows? Well, you can pick anything. I'm going with Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's what I'm picking, for the GameCube. Man, talk about everything that I love about Nintendo was that it was just fun. It was a party game. The GameCube was that one where it was like, man, we could just come together and we can party. Super Smash Bros. Before on the 64 for sure, but this is really what defined the GameCube for me. I thought about going a couple different routes for the GameCube, but you can play this game forever, and it's always different, right? Because of just whatever, who you're playing, the dynamics of that, all those types of different things. Super fun, super entertaining. And just a blast. We've done so many Super Smash Bros. Things. At camp, at our summer camp for youth, we had a Smash Bros. Tournament. We do it at church. We, just so many fun times had playing this game. And I got to go with Melee as my GameCube pick for the night.
Hey,
that's
Andy,
fantastic.
Hey, Andy, I have a good way to really pick up some time. Yeah. I'm coming in hot, dude. We almost had to. I almost went Xbox than this with Halo. You know what's funny though, Andy, is my next two you definitely won't have. But I'm going Melee, man, and I had to pick GameCube because he was on. I can't pick Saturn because I hardly ever played it. I wouldn't even know what to pick, but I do have this one, and it was between this one or these two right here, and I chose this one. I almost changed it, but yeah, I'm gonna go Melee.
Another thing we talked about,
all the same reasons: the parties, the having people over, how much it changed, and I think it did so much more than the 64 version. It just added more characters. It brought in so much more fun, and you already know I love the Wii version. That's my favorite, and that's a classic. That right there is a veteran move. The Wii version's better, but this game, everybody loves this game. I mean, it's just so much fun to play. As a Zelda fan, I love having Zelda. You know, I love having Link beat up on Bowser. That's just fun, man. I don't care who you are. So I think this is the defining game for GameCube. Could have picked one of these, but I had a feeling Marcello's probably going to pick something here or crush with us again. So we'll talk about those later. So hopefully.
Marcello, who did you pick? Who was your go-to character in Smash?
So initially it was Link, and then honestly, one of my go-to characters was actually Roy. And I'm not even a Fire Emblem fan at all, but I thought his moveset was really good.
I had to look up Fire Emblem back in the day. Who is this Roy guy?
All of us did. But that's what I loved about that game, right? Even that era is we didn't have everything spoiled in front of us with social media where we found out everything before we even got the game. We would play the game, and all of a sudden you're unlocking things. You're like, wait, who is this? Wait, where's that from? How to get this? And
who played as Ice Climber? Who did that?
I don't know of anyone that played as Ice Climber.
No,
any Ice Climbers in the chat? Any Ice Climbers?
No. So on the 64 version, I was always Captain Falcon. That was the guy. Yeah.
I figured you a Pikachu and a Kirby guy.
I did. I was a Pikachu. I love Kirby. Kirby is a fantastic pick in Smash. That's Kirby above your shoulder right there. So don't sleep on Kirby. He is a beast. He can become all things. But
I mean, for crying out loud, like Kirby's usually at the forefront of these games. I mean, for even like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch, like the whole story campaign, he's the only character that's you start with, and I'm like, well, it's Sakurai's creation, and so was Kirby. It's only going to make sense. He's going to have a little bit of that S tier going for him.
Yeah, a little bit of favoritism going on there with Kirby, but I think Smash is a great thing. I was waiting for somebody to do it because like the N64 and the GameCube both share one aspect of I think Nintendo's philosophy at the time, maybe even still. But that is where they focused on multiplayer, especially couch co-op. Marcello and I agree about 99% of everything in games and life, you name it. But we are definitely divided on Double Dash. The reason for me that I love it is exactly because I have the memories of sitting there with my housemates just destroying each other in that game for hours on end. Same thing with Smash Brothers Melee. And those two generations are where Nintendo really went all in on multiplayer that made friendships and destroyed friendships all at the same time. So, I mean, you could have picked Smash Brothers Melee, GoldenEye. You could have picked Perfect Dark. You could have picked Mario Kart Double Dash. You could have picked any of those. But they all have that same design philosophy. It's let's get a whole bunch of people who are friends right now and make them hate each other tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it because that was going to be the game I switched to. So there it is.
Yeah.
Double tap.
Well, look, we're done. We're halfway done with the Got it.
I really need to review that on the channel.
Hey,
and I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's not going to go well.
Yeah. All right. So, there you go. All right. We're done with our first round. And we're making okay time. But what I will say is we've got a lot to come. But before we do, this is kind of a nod to you, Marcello. Ironically, we didn't know this. You said you started the channel on the 20th anniversary, roughly, right around then. Well, we're going to be in Morgan City in a couple weeks for the Morgan City RetroCon. This is the Louisiana RetroCon. This shirt is the same convention, just at a different place. But he does it out of Morgan City, does it out of Gonzales. The Morgan City RetroCon this year is actually celebrating the 25th anniversary of the GameCube. And if you know us, we are youth pastors. One of our favorite things is a ministry that we do nerdy things. We preach nerd sermons at the conventions as a part of the programming. And this year, I'm preaching bringing my broke GameCube that's back here, and that's probably going to be kind of the topic because Kevin said he's going to help me fix it. So GameCube, this is it. February 28th, March 1st. We're going to be at Morgan City and doing the RetroCon. The Louisiana RetroCon, which is the other one, which is on the back, that's in August. This one's huge in comparison. We'll be at that one as well. And hopefully we're at Rocket City. At least me and Cannon might make it down there this Saturday for at least a little bit of time. And a couple other things. If you are a Christian creator, we actually have this. This is 140 different Christian creators that are in the nerd geek world that we have partnered with to give a great book at these conventions. Because a lot of times we'll meet people that are like, man, I didn't know I could be Christian and still like video games or dress up like a furry. Well, there's cosplay for Christ. There's all kinds of people in here that proves that wrong. And with that being said, Andy, we've got 3 good videos. Let's do our guys at Geek Devotions, because I'm going to be on there next week, or this week, Friday, tomorrow. Go to Geek Devotions. I'm on theirs doing a devotion on the Masters of the Universe trailer. Let's do our coffee and Koi Fish, if he's still in here. We owe him a couple run-throughs. Let's do our member spotlight for Koi Fish, and then we'll get back into the show.
Hey, well, yeah, let's check it out. Check out all of the great friends of the Rushmore Show.
Geek Devotions is a collaboration of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. They produce a weekly geek culture-infused devotional, their podcast content, and written articles, all designed to encourage and challenge people in the geek community, bridging the gap between their faith and their geekdoms. Find all their content at geekdevotions.com.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code RUSHMORE for free shipping. Koi Fish Gaming is where retro lives and breathes. Jeff brings you authentic gameplay on original hardware, Atari, NES, Super Nintendo, PS1, and more, all captured in the warm glow of a CRT. From long plays and live streams to game collecting and honest chats about the gaming life, this channel is a nostalgia-packed hangout for old school gamers who just get it. Check him out on YouTube and Instagram today.
Hey, so real quick, I mentioned this to Marcello and I think Steve earlier beforehand. Retro Cannon's in the house saying hello. You guys want to follow his channel? That's it right there, Retro Cannon.
What's up, dude?
Son. He goes through playing old retro video games in this book for the very first time. So that's his channel. Go check him out, Retro Cannon. He's going to bed. Say goodnight. Bye-bye. The other thing I wanted to share, and then we'll get back into it. You're upset, Steve. You're up next. But before I do that, member spotlight. Guys, anybody that becomes a member of the channel, it's only $2.99. It's not mandatory. You don't have to do it to be a part of this community, and we won't hate anybody. But if you do, you're just helping us at these conventions, get to these conventions and do all kinds of amazing stuff. What you guys helped us purchase was this amazing sign for our conventions, Rushmore and Reboot Ministry, and you actually helped us go another year here on StreamYard. But if you become a member, we'll do a video like Koi Fish and play at halftime throughout our live streams. So if you want to be a part, jump on the membership, and we'll do a little video commercial for you.
Rob's next guest. Just want to say, hey,
there he is. Rob's next guest. He's moving all the way across the country. Are you done moving yet, bud? I can't wait till the next guest, honestly. What a great show. Go visit his show. Rob's next guest is awesome. He's been on before.
Hey.
Hopefully we get to have him again now that he's back being David Letterman of YouTube. So speaking of that, you're up, Steve.
All right.
What is your link? Now, this is a softball pitch here. Link. It's called Link for Lincoln. What's your second best game of all time?
I should
Console defining.
with people, although I do love that game. All right, well, I changed my pick right in real time, just not 10 minutes ago, because Andy decided to come in hot with RPG hate. So I'm going to go the only way I know to go, and I'm mad you made me do this, but I gotta go Final Fantasy VII. Not saying it's my favorite Final Fantasy. It's not one of my favorite games necessarily, but what that game did at that point in time was something that could only have been done on the PlayStation system. So when you think of something that embodies what the PlayStation is, you had, for the first time, a really viable CD-ROM option, right? And I know there were other options, in the past, but I'm not talking about Jaguar CD. We're talking about the PlayStation, right? The hardware alone is the only reason why you were able to increase your level of storytelling from something like, I love Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger and anything else that tells a story like that, but you couldn't do it in the cinematic way that Final Fantasy did. Final Fantasy VII did. You couldn't have the even cinematic battle scenes, the actual cinematics, the score that did. You couldn't have had the depth of game had it not been for the hardware specifically of the PlayStation. So it took something that had been fairly kid-friendly, video gaming as a whole, that was able to tell stories, but it was not very realistic, and it took it to a level that Manny was talking about skipping school for GTA 3. I skipped school for a week straight to play Final Fantasy 7. And I put over 100 hours into that game back in the day. And you could not have done that on any other system. So suddenly gaming was for adults because you were telling big boy stories with big boy graphics. And I think that for that reason, Final Fantasy 7 embodies the spirit of the original PlayStation. To me, I still call it the PSX. There you go. It's the pick.
I hate this pick. It's terrible.
That makes me so happy.
I'm just playing. I was trying to keep a straight face. This is amazing. This is amazing pick, and I love what my buddy Kevin said. Kevin is actually, me and him played Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, which was 4 and 5. Yeah. That kind of thing back in the day as kids. Remember when 7 came out? It was peak gaming to me. And I'll just say this: it's a great pick. It is a fantastic pick. And with that being said, I do want to say hello real quick. I seen him in the comments a little bit. Yeah, thanks for being here. Great comments. Welcome to the Summit Squad. We appreciate you being here. And hello, Blake. One is the biggest of the board. Yeah. Yep. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. I know this guy's idea of what this game's about because I've heard it for now 5 years. What do you think about it?
Oh, you muted.
Yeah, Marcello, you're a little muted.
He's lost for words. He has nothing to say about it because it's horrible.
Okay, so as far as Steve's pick, it is a good pick. It's a very iconic title that released for the PlayStation 1. No question about it.
I'm talking to Blake. He said Smash. We just talked about it. You just missed it.
But yeah, no, it's a great pick. I'll be honest though, I've never beaten a single Final Fantasy game in my life.
Which is fair because it takes some time. It takes
right. Well, a combination.
That's why Andy doesn't like them. Andy likes to play a game and then unplug and forget it.
Well, and I can relate to that because when I was younger, I wasn't a fan of turn-based RPGs at all. I felt like
we have a celebrity in the house, guys. Blake said he just made regionals. I'm guessing for Super Smash.
Way to go! Way to go!
Congratulations!
Awesome. Congrats!
And Star Fox 64 has to be on the list somewhere. So this is GameCube. This is console-defining game. So what game defines the 64 the most? So it has to be like the one you think. It might make somebody's list. But but yeah, I can agree, Marcello. Now, Andy, what do you think about 7?
The real bummer is that none of them were actually the final one. So
I've always made that joke myself.
Gosh.
I just don't like taking my turn in the fight. That's usually been my big stick.
Fair.
And they're just slow. They're just slow for me. And
So-
I don't want to have to go to, and I don't know about this one being that way, but I know the RPGs where I have to like continually go to my inventory and change things and do, and you lost me. I just want fast action, and I want a beginning and an end. I love platformers, right? For that reason,
Mm-hmm.
there's a clear beginning and an end. This is my goal for this, and then I'm good, and then I move on. I don't like side quests. I don't like all of those types of different deals. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, some RPGs are a little bit more playable than the other ones, but I think I played some bad ones early on, or bad like ones that I didn't enjoy.
You really like Quest 64?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I don't even know what I'm doing. Why do I have to only like cast a spell in a triangle in a certain area? Like, what is that all about? That's not real. I just like let me live my life, RPG. Let me do what I want to do.
Look, Andy, Kevin wants to know, but you like Pokemon.
And I've said it before. Pokemon has enough nostalgia for me personally that I can overlook all those.
So what we need is a Final Fantasy VII Pokemon style.
I'd play
and then
I'd
that
do
would,
it
that
all
would
day,
flip you
because
into
Pokemon
this
is
thing.
that great. Yeah, I just want those characters.
That would
the
tip
original
the
150. I don't need all 12 billion they have.
All right, Marcello, what's your link? You already said Ocarina, so you used up that Zelda. There's a bunch of other Zeldas though out there. What's your pick?
So my pick is, funny enough, is for the PlayStation 1. And for me, my link pick is going to be Metal Gear Solid.
Oh.
Metal Gear Solid for me was revolutionary. This was a game that took stealth gaming to a whole new degree, storytelling to a whole new degree, a soundtrack that was just absolute perfection from start to finish. It literally was a perfect game. Hideo Kojima fired on all cylinders this team over in Konami to make this game. Talk about brilliantly utilizing the architecture of the PlayStation 1, but like even so much so to breaking the fourth wall in a multitude of ways. Whether it was like the whole you have to call Meryl's codec. It's in the back of a CD case, and you spend like an hour and a half running around all of Shadow Moses Island, going like, "Where is this CD case?" To only then be like, "Oh snap! They're talking about the actual game case. If it turned over, that's wild. That's brilliant." To even the Psycho Mantis fight and breaking the fourth wall with that, or just then the story itself is again.
So we talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago. Easter eggs in games, and just that whole fight where he logs into your memory card and checks it all out.
Yes.
I would have for PlayStation 2 I chose Grand Theft Auto, and one of the reasons I didn't is because I was almost going to pick one of these, and one of the reasons I didn't was because I thought Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation 1 was much more monumental than these two.
Yeah.
But I can't pick Metal Gear Solid 1, so I am so excited you're talking about it because it's one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah.
And it's a great pick. Hey, Blake, I'm not sure what you're asking. I think you want us to figure out who you are. I mean, I'm not sure. Are you one of my students? Maybe, I don't know.
No, he was.
He's talking about Smash. I think, but that's not what we're.
Oh, like who he played? Oh, who's his character? Who's your main character?
Ice Climber.
Ice Climber. We just said it. Wait, first off, which version are you playing? Are you playing? Yeah, which one are you playing? So.
He told me it was Yoda.
Oh. And Honky Kong, Honky Kong says Banjo-Kazooie is his 64 pick. Metal Gear Solid greater than Final Fantasy VII said it, and he trumped his own pick right there. That's a veteran move right there, Steve. Get 2 in at the same time.
What I do?
Yeah.
Did I do something good?
Yeah. You trumped your own pick with
Win.
the greater then. It's up there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet he plays
I'm-
Mr.
Sorry,
Game
Steve.
Mr. Game and Watch.
Oh, every time the top left guy turns his head, he looks like he's kissing the top. Yeah.
That's what happens on these shorts, man. You know. All right, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, y'all are on the short side. You're on the bigger side. You'll see that it's not always like that. Lucario, good pick. GameCube version. Oh yeah. GameCube version is Smash, hands down. No, that's the one we're talking about mainly. All right. Well, Andy, you're up.
Yeah. My next pick on the list. So I didn't necessarily put mine in order, but I think I'm just going by the order of like the console itself, how I love it. I'm going to go to one of these just super nostalgia ones. I'm going to the Sega Genesis, and of course, I'm picking Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Nice.
Console defining. I mean, just like Master Chief is inseparable from the Xbox, I believe Sonic and Sega it just is you can't separate them in my mind. It's everything is great about this, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I believe, is the best of the Sonic games. I do love the original. I do actually love. I think it's 3 that's Sonic and Knuckles. I kind of shared that when we talked about it before. That was a cool one because Knuckles is a great character. I love some of the level design and everything that's in that one. But man, you can't beat the soundtrack. You can't beat the gameplay, the nostalgia. All of the things about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the bonus levels, everything about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is just perfect. And it's to me, again, going along the lines of what this show is about, that this is about console defining games. Are there other great games on the Genesis? Sure, there are. But you got to have Sonic. If you have a Genesis and you don't have Sonic 2, fix it. So that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
I will say this: Genesis always kind of gets bagged on for the weird sounds, and I love them. I love them. But to me, Sonic 2 is what I think of first of music, and just the graphics in like the pinball sections and all the different things that are happening. Sonic 2 is a gem, and it would have been my pick, but I only picked games that I own, and not games that I own, but systems that I own, and I have literally never had a Genesis in my life. The only time I ever played a Genesis, well, I mean, I played a bunch, actually, but the main one was at Kevin's, who is still in the chat, I'm sure, and we played over there all the time.
When you would be drowning is like, that's like the when did my anxiety start? Typical
Plant Zone gets stuck in my head off. It's great sound right there. By the way, I think the drop. I don't know if y'all saw it. He plays Ultimate, and he go get a Mac. So I'm guessing he plays him at Mac, which that's cool. But yeah, good pick. Sonic 2,
pick.
Saturn guy down there, Sega guy. Wazrum's not in here no more. He's a Sega guy.
Oh yeah, Manny's gone. The Wazrum's gone. I did think about picking Sonic and Knuckles.
That's a good one.
For a simple reason, but I liked that.
You could potentially still get it later. Hey,
Sega
Frank Gallagher,
loved
thanks for being here.
Sega loved to stack technology, and combining that idea with Sonic, I thought kind of personified them. But anyway, but it's not my pick.
So, Frank, the list is your top 4 games. It's the Rushmore Show. We do top 4. It's always your favorite, never the best. And we're talking about console defining. So what game defines the console best? Put them in order in your favorites. Usually it's what games you played as a kid or, what consoles. And so we're at our number 2 pick. So we're almost to the best pick ever. That's next. And so, yeah, I agree. Marcello, do you like Sonic 2?
Oh, I love that game. It's an absolute masterpiece for the Sega Genesis.
Masterpiece. Love it.
For the Genesis, honestly, I thought about it too. Like, someone's going to pick Sonic 2 tonight. Like, I feel like it's going to happen.
It was on my list for honorable mentions. It's not on. I mean, it's just not something I had a lot. But it is by far a great game. And we've done top 4 Genesis games, and Sonic 2 was a triple Rushmore. All 3 of us had it. Maybe all 4 of us. There might have been 4 on that show. But yeah. Well, Andy, it's my turn, I guess. Number one has to be Mario and Nintendo. I mean, if Nintendo's your jam, yep, definitely could be. So, no regrets needed. Donkey Kong, yep. So, I'm gonna come in. I've been alluding to it. I mean, it doesn't happen always, but it definitely falls into play here. Link, the best Link, especially Link in the title, is Link to the Past. There's my old little kid signature on it right there. But Super Nintendo is my second favorite system of all time. Super Nintendo is we're doing with Retro Gaming Pandemic and Double Mint Games at the end of the month. Spoiler alert, this is on my mountain. It's maybe not my George, but it's at the top. To me, it's my favorite Zelda of all time. I love almost every Zelda I've ever played, even the ones that are kind of weird and wonky. I love Zelda, but if you only had to give me one Zelda, this is the one I want to play. This is the one that it sold me as a kid. This is it. Link to the Past is my number one. Bryce in the house. Bryce JW Raid. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, bud. This is my jam. Link gets Link to the Past. We're going back. Nostalgia, man. There it is. So, what do you guys think about that?
It's a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Link to the Past.
Complete agreement out of me for Zelda games. Absolutely, dude.
However, I am going to confess something. It is one of the few Zelda games I've never beaten.
Oh, wow.
But hold on.
So I feel the same way with Ocarina. It's one of the few I haven't.
You know a guy. You think you know a guy.
But here's the thing. So actually, Steve, it's funny because there's a few of us. It's me, Pac-Man Case, and Vux. We all haven't beaten it, so we've all talked about how we're gonna all play it at the same time and just start comparing with like where we're at. No guides, nothing. We're gonna make it old school, like
you're
chatting
all
about like, hey, where'd you get up to?
Until you beat that game, you're all dead to me.
And the podcast is out.
I totally agree. Link Between Worlds is a fantastic follow-up game.
Yeah,
It actually almost feels like it is a
Link to the Past 2.
a ROM hack. It's so close.
Yeah.
Kind of like different. So yeah, that's gonna be our my Link round. Super Nintendo's my jam. Love Link to the Past. Probably second favorite franchise, second favorite system. Had to go there. Now we're to our number one pick. We call it the George. It used to be G-Dub. This is George Washington. This is number one on the mountain. What's your favorite Saturn game? Saturn, Steve. I'm just playing.
Game? Oh,
Sing around.
that ain't my George.
Yeah,
I did not actually pick any Saturn games. And I wrestled with that a little bit because I think, when I started looking, I was like, man, I don't know that Saturn has as many games that really speak to the identity of the system because the identity of the system was so confused from the second it launched. That was confusing. The second it fizzled out here in the States, that was confusing. But there were a lot of great things that happened in between those 2 points. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready. What we got?
My George, my G-Dub. I hate to do it, but I'm doing 2 Dreamcast games. Is Shenmue. Shenmue is the ultimate Dreamcast embodiment. It combines technical innovation, cinematic storytelling. You see the groundwork laid for open world, so you have that open world ambition. You have a cultural flair. For people that don't know, this is a quick backstory on Saturn Steve lore. I played Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy II was one of my first RPGs. I didn't like RPGs at all. My buddy made me play it. I loved it. So I imported Final Fantasy V. Like somebody said in the chat, the back video games, you can find the ads for importing video games. I paid from mowing lawns. I imported Final Fantasy. I started learning Japanese. When I kept learning, and when I went to college, I spent almost 8 years there in a Japanese language studies and linguistics program. That was my jam. And this came out when I was just starting out, and it really set a fire under me to really go all in on Japanese culture and language and history. So Shenmue is another game that could not have been done at any other point in history before the Dreamcast came out. It was ambitious in a way that made it a commercial failure, but the ambition, the vision behind that game by Yu Suzuki was just, it was something that took such a risk that really was almost devastating for Sega financially. But, the vision was just something that could never have been, that nobody had even thought about at that point. The gameplay, the shot for shot recreations of real places in rural Japan or suburban Japan, it's an absolute masterpiece. Who said that? Probably Manny, if I know Manny. Yep.
Yep.
So, I got to pick Shenmue because I can't think of any other game that more perfectly encapsulates the identity, the ambition, and the artistic, creative vision of a system more so than Shenmue does for the Dreamcast.
Congratulations, Bryce. Good praise report. Thank you. We've been praying for you, man. Yeah, man. It's never happened. Just kidding. It has happened. We change our stuff on the fly. We do all kinds of things. We can do what we want. It's our list. And 2 Dreamcast games is great. I barely know Jet Set, but I do know because of the amazing visuals and from what I've seen. But I don't know much about any of this. I had to look it up. And man, this game looks really cool. I'd love to play it. Really awesome.
It controls a little bit tough now by 2025 standards, but if you get the hang of it, it's very engrossing in a way that I think games even still.
Kevin has a good question. Didn't they start development on the Saturn?
That is true. That is correct. You can find some rough. I wouldn't even call it alpha footage, but development footage of the Saturn. There's the Saturn fan communities very involved. So there's some passion projects where they're looking to take what has been released and ambitiously try to finish a Saturn version of that game. Yeah. So yes, it did.
I preferred Shenmue Vice City, though.
Yeah.
So Manny says it helped him with phone books, forklifts, and gambling.
Forklift simulator, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Marcello, you're up, but before you say your pick, do you like Shenmue?
So Shenmue is a franchise I have not played much of. I've played it briefly, but I never owned it. But I always knew the impact it had because, again, at the time it was the highest budgeted game in development. The history behind it is fascinating, to say the least.
DJ Courageous, welcome in, man. DJ Courageous is a Christian DJ on Twitch, man. If you guys love that, he's amazing. Go check him out over on the Twitch side. Thank you for being over on the purple side, dude. Everybody's great. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's a fantastic pick. I think it's even though those 2 picks for the Dreamcast, I feel like the very least the Shenmue one, it's like it has to be mentioned. If there was any game for that, I think the Dreamcast has to get mentioned. It is easily that one because
No Ballers wants to know, is the PS4 port just as good?
So I don't know, Steve. Did you ever get the HD remaster?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And I started playing through it. It seemed to I don't remember. I could be wrong about it.
Yes.
Maybe that I just don't remember, but I don't remember quality of life updates for controls. So it took me a minute to readjust. Now maybe they're in there, and it's been so long that I've forgotten. But yeah, I mean, you can pick up the PS4 port, which has is it
1 and 2?
Shenmue 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
and you can get it for probably $20 or less, and I would absolutely grab it. It was a masterpiece of a game. The way, and that's what I was telling my nephews about recently. We were talking about this. We're getting them into some retro gaming, and when you're walking around, here's the difference, right? You have more modern open world games, right? Who kind of get their template in their existence to Shenmue. You're walking around Vice City. There's NPCs that they're nothing more than just a polygonal bag of flesh. They don't have any personalities. They don't really have an identity in the game. Shenmue, this is one of the reasons why it was so ambitious. If you see a person on that street in Shenmue, that person has a unique identity. They have a unique relationship with Ryo, and you have conversations. You form relationships with these people. So, and I'm sure there's NPCs that are relatively surface level, but you know who those people are. So it's not. It makes it feel way more alive than just running around a soulless city. Like I said, punching hookers in the face. So it was a very unique, and I can't use a better word for it, ambitiously realistic cinematic approach to storytelling.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I need to try and find a way to play some of these Dreamcast games. It sounds like a blast. Sounds like a blast. Hey, so Marcello, finish off your list. What's your George? Your number one, the George G-Dub.
All right, my George, my number one. I'm getting off the background so I can show this, but my number one.
Are you gonna do like a Wii game? Like he didn't choose a Saturn game. He chose a different Sega game. You going with another? No.
Marcello's gonna mess me up and pick a Saturn game.
It was gonna be Sega Rally, but I mean, that is my console-defining Saturn game. But no, for me, this is a game that, for me, revolutionized gaming, period. And sure enough, its influence and its impact has been seen for over 2 decades now in the gaming industry. It was destined to be the greatest survival horror game of all time, is the quote that's in the back of the box. And that game is Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
This game defined the GameCube for me, even though it released almost a little bit over almost 4 years, January of 2005.
Yeah.
Right? This game, for me, was mind-blowing from start to finish. Visually, I couldn't believe what the GameCube was pulling off. And that's saying a lot, because the Resident Evil 1 remake was the game that made me be able to defend being a GameCube owner back in the day when you're like in 8th grade and everybody's like, oh, the GameCube's like lame. I'm like, I got Resident Evil remake. What do you got? Right? Like visually. But Resident Evil 4 changed action gaming, because how many games after Resident Evil 4 followed suit with the same camera of over the shoulder with full 360-degree aiming, and this just the level of polish this game had, the level of programming that was put into this game, the amount of revisions this game went through. There was, I think, it was 4 or 5 versions of this game in development. And the history of the development of this game fascinates me. This is something I've thought about diving into, the history of Resident Evil 4 development for the channel. I really thought about it.
That'd be a good video.
And honestly, and I appreciate that, one of the things would be not only to cover the history of it, but to cover every single version of the game. And I'm talking about from the GameCube to all the initial development versions, including the infamous Hookman demo one, to the full retail release that we got, to the PS2 version, the Wii version, the HD versions for the PS3 360, the HD versions on the PS4 and Xbox One and Switch, the iPhone version, if people remember that was even one of those, for the Resident Evil 4. It's a deep rabbit hole to go down. But the game itself, like I said, Resident Evil 4 for me is, when I think of the GameCube, there is numerous games I could think of that were defining, right? I could say F-Zero GX. I could say, Luigi's Mansion. I could say maybe Mario Sunshine. I digress. But Resident Evil 4 for me was
veteran move right there.
I love it. I was about to say it.
But Resident Evil 4 for me was that moment where it was clear that the GameCube got easily one of the greatest. Not even one of the greatest. The GameCube got the greatest game. I'm saying it now. This was the greatest game that ever released on any platform for the 6th gen. No game came close to the perfection that Resident Evil 4 was. And I will die on that hill. This game was infinitely replayable. It's the only game that I could play over and over and over. And I could start a brand new file, not a new game plus file, a brand new file, and it still feels like a fresh playthrough. Like it takes me back to 2005 when I first played it. Makes me decide, what weapons do I go through in this chapter? Do I try to do something different? What do I upgrade? What do I use this for? Did I get enough money here? The game has the dynamic difficulty where it punishes you depending on if you have too much ammo. Well, then you're going to get kind of screwed over. Or, it's brilliant. It's an absolute masterpiece through and through.
I love this pick.
Kettle Briar, we mentioned
go.
it earlier. Yep. Thanks for being in here, bud. We will see you there. It's in a couple weeks. Kettle Briar is the cosplay dad at the conventions. Hey, I didn't have the GameCube version. I almost said it for PlayStation 2, but I know GameCube's is kind of the pinnacle. And that was just it. I don't have it for GameCube, but I have it the PS2 version because I collect PS2. So, but Resident Evil is a fantastic franchise. This is the last one I've ever played though, because I don't have a PS3, 4, 5, 50, whatever it is now. I know what it is, but yeah, and that game is absolutely replayable. It's so fun, and I love what you said about the action horror. It changed the game. It was what it is. And I'm surprised you picked it, being a GameCube guy. Not because of it's not a great game. I just assumed that's what you get for assuming. Like you're like, okay, what's the GameCube? Let's map them all out. And I love that you picked this. This makes me just absolutely love having you on here even better. That you just didn't pick a regular, what most people would say GameCube game. So good pick.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that you appreciate that pick. Like I said, for me, that's what defined the GameCube. At that point, even though it was a mere 9 months later that the PS2 would get its version, and it would have additional content, right? It would have the Separate Ways campaign that was exclusive to the PS2 at the time. But the PS2 version took a hit. Visually, it was muddier. Audio-wise, it was heavily compressed. It controls, actually, the only version of Resident Evil 4 where the controls are flawless to this day, out of all the HD versions included, is still the GameCube version because there's 0 dead zone with the analog stick, whereas every other version of the game has a dead zone in the middle of the analog stick when you try to move. So when you're aiming, it's slightly off. Again, it's a fascinating rabbit hole to go down. But yeah, the only other version that rivals it is the Wii edition.
I would love to see a video on that. It sounds fun. Fun fact: it was a rarity to have an M rating game on Nintendo consoles. Right. That whole thing too.
Thank you, Isaac. I'm glad you said that because one of the things that I've been thinking about and wanting to mention is this is what happened. Like from Gen 4 to Gen 5, and really from between Gen 5 and 6 is where you really saw video gaming become an adult hobby as well as a child's toy, right? And part of that's due to the fact that a lot of people who grew up with it were aging, and the hobby was aging with its consumer base, right? But at the same time, I don't think, and we saw that, I picked Final Fantasy VII, which really my pick was going to be Resident Evil, because the evolution of hardware opened up so many more creative avenues for them to tell more grown-up stories. So that's when video gaming stopped being a child's hobby and started becoming an adult enthusiast, form as well. So
yeah, good pick. Now look, I'm about to cut y'all off, but we had 16 minutes left before Marcello said he's probably got to go. So we got to finish at least this part. So Andy, what's your pick?
All right, so it was no surprise that this is happening.
Which one?
Super Mario 64.
Oh man!
Again, when we're saying console defining. It was Super Mario 64, the release title. You know, it brought in this new kind of way to video game, and just kind of, Steve, like you said, I'll echo kind of what you already said. I won't talk about it too much, but is the gameplay choppy? Like, is it hard with the camera angles? Yeah, sure it is. But again, it was such a night and day difference from what we were used to with video games. Anything before that just the fact that they even accomplished that is breathtaking. It's crazy. It's still fun to play today, right? Are there games that do it better? Obviously, of course, right? It was at the beginning stages of this, but as far as defining the console, this is the game that defines the N64. It just is. It's everything that the 64 is going to be capable of doing. And then even 64 after that, the console itself had even progressed and gotten better from there. But it all started again with 64. And I will just say this last thing I'll say. I've talked about it plenty. The music is great. Love the games. Just love it all. But every one of us can admit that we picked up that baby penguin and we threw it off the cliff. I mean, we all did
100%.
it. 100%.
Is there any other way to do it?
Yeah.
Well, Andy, but that's a great game, but we need to talk role-playing games.
Yeah, no. We're not going to gloss over that silly little RPG. We're going to talk a little bit longer about.
Hey, look, I figured it's a good way to get us in. Look, we've already talked 64. We've already talked.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, so that's it. Let's go to our
Benjamins.
In my opinion, of all time. And I bit my tongue a little bit earlier, but Final Fantasy to me is the greatest franchise, and this is it, man. And I love that you switched on Metal Gear Solid because I wanted that one too.
Yeah.
But for every reason that you mentioned, Steve, the cinematic, which kind of turns people like Andy off. I remember like watching and going, "There's just no way." And Isaac said it in the chat: 3 discs. He said 5 to 6 discs. I remember having like to pause, wait, and come into the next. You're like, dude, that was something new. Just the size of the game. I love good storytelling. It's a great story. I haven't played the remaster because I don't have the systems to do that, and I would love to. But
it's really
this is by George. Game defining. PlayStation's my system. If I was to do a channel, I'd be like PlayStation Plaisance or something, because that's my last name. But I would do a PlayStation channel for sure, and mainly because of this. And so this great lists all around. Great lists all around, and we were able to salvage 13 minutes with that. Andy, what?
This is debatable that it's great list.
Oh yeah.
Well, the impact.
I want to know something. It's got to do with share it in the chat. FF7's your favorite. Bunch of FF7. Good job. Superman 64 is not an honorable mention. It is defined for different reasons.
This dude right here has got me rolling the entire stream. By the way, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna have a little bit of a. I don't know. I won't say this is a hot take, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. Andy, you said you like games that are a little bit more, instant action, right? And you definitely are turned off by having those long pauses between battles. I totally get that. As somebody who is incredibly ADD, if you haven't noticed, that was always a challenge for me with RPGs. So when you were talking about that, I thought about hack and slash games like Devil May Cry and Onimusha and things like that, that are still telling a story, but they're a lot more a lot more action oriented. I think it's worth trying for you, the Final Fantasy remake, just the demo.
So I'm going to chime in on that too.
Yeah, because it's a lot more. To me, it feels like a hack and slash because the action is nonstop. It's way faster paced. And as a matter of fact, almost too fast paced if you're expecting a traditional RPG. So I think that would be, at least worth trying. You may still not like it, but it does tell it. I mean, we're talking about much more adult themes in games like that. it does tell a great story. It looks great, and the action is like breakneck speed. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and
But if I like it, do I have to say I like RPGs though?
well, we won't tell anybody.
Okay.
All right, look,
That's
we've got
what
10
someone
minutes.
mentioned the
10
same
minutes.
thing.
We can do it in 10 minutes. We've done it in 10 minutes before. We've done it in 10 minutes before. Let's do our honorable mentions.
Let's do this.
And we call it All About the Benjamins because Benjamin Franklin was potentially the 5th guy on the mountain. So we want to know what missed your mountains today. Let's play a little game of... All right, honorable mentions. Here we go. So I already told you guys what it is. Most of you have been in the chat before. We're going to go in a draft order. Steve, you're first. Then it's Steve, Marcello, Andy, me, Andy. But you know the deal. Here's the thing. The only thing I'll throw out, Marcello, is the first time you've done this. If you know something, potentially, because Steve's your friend, and Steve, you've got first pick. If you think Marcello's going to take something, you probably want to take that one first. And if you have something that's like a little bit... off the beaten path, save that one later, and you'll because you're trying to get your 4 top picks, if you will. We can't pick anything that's been said, and once somebody says it, it's off the board. So, Steve, you're first. What is one game that defines a console that missed our mountains today?
All right. Well, I don't think Marcello's going to pick this one, but I know one that he will pick, and I am going to save it till next. Because this one to me I played so much, and it was really hard to put it up there. But believe it or not, this is on a system nobody would guess. It's another Dreamcast game. It was Soul Calibur 1. Now, I know.
You could have definitely saved that to the end.
So the reason that first of all, I played thousands of hours in Soul Calibur. I can still play that game with
I think we need to change your name to Dreamcast Steve.
I know. Here's why. Okay, because the Dreamcast just existed at that perfect spot in history where up until that point, my jam was fighting games. If you like fighting games, then you were never going to get what you went to the arcade and played. Even on the PlayStation, when we got Tekken 3, another game I played thousands of hours of. And it, I would say, arguably is a better game than the arcade, but as far as the graphical fidelity of it, it's not as good as the arcade. We could get close. That's the best we could hope for. Now, here comes Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. And I remember Georgia Tech in a rec room, we had a Soul Calibur arcade machine. I was pumped when that thing got in there. And guess what? It sucked because I was used to the Dreamcast version. If Dreamcast was the first time we ever saw something that we could see in the arcade, and it made the arcade look like trash because the home version for the first time ever looked so vastly superior that it was even embarrassing to the arcade. So that was a really interesting, very novel circumstance that only existed right there at that time, at point in time, and is another thing that defines the Dreamcast identity of being ahead of its time and willing to take risks too, but not, anyway. So that was Soul Calibur to me. First time we ever saw something that blew the arcade out of the water.
Great pick. The great pick. The only thing I will say is we don't have to talk as much.
I know.
But I'm just saying. I love the pick. So, Marcello, what's your next pick?
My next pick is actually going to be Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis.
Good pick. Good pick. Probably 1-2 of the Genesis punch for me. That is a little playoff. Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Bryce, thanks for sharing your channel. By the way, if you have a wrench, you can share your channel in the chat. Share it away.
I don't know how we got this far in the episode and we didn't mention this one. I think this is just video game defining of any console, but specifically to the NES. I'm going Super Mario Bros. I mean, the original, right? Like Super Mario feels like we should have mentioned that one at some point.
Well, that's another one off my list. It was coming. It was coming.
I knew it was. That's why I think this one right off.
I had it right there. Boom. But good pick. Good pick. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 2 Nintendo games. I'm gonna go with we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Andy. I'm going with Wii Sports, man.
Good pick. I was
going
with
Dude, this is console defining. I only need this game. on the
Yeah.
whole system. I love the system. I love certain games. I really only need this one from here on out. And then I'm going to my newest system, the only one, and I got to go back to my favorite franchises. To me, this changed the game for me as far as open world. I'm going Breath of the Wild. I'm going Breath of the Wild. I could have did Tears of the Kingdom 2. I know it gets a little bit more hate, but Breath of the Wild, this, I feel like this, what you said about Resident Evil 4, I could start this over every day. Like, just play. I just love to walk around and do nothing. Love that game. That's my two first picks.
Yeah. I'm going Super Nintendo for my next one, and I'm sticking very close to what I've been doing. Possibly my favorite Super Nintendo game, with the exception of another franchise. But I'm gonna do Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, that was my other pick. If I wouldn't have took Link, there it is. It's hanging out up there too.
It's Yoshi. It's all those. Yeah, Super Mario.
Andy, we just love the same games, dude.
I just love great things. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Steve, you're up, and then I'm sorry, Marcello, you're up. Then Steve, you get 2 picks.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to go.
Hey, but first, it's Marcello.
So my next pick is I'm actually gonna do SNES as well, and I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised Andy didn't pick that.
By the way, Steve, I saw that on your screen, and I'm like, I'm beating him to it.
That's my favorite, but it's yes. I'm
Did Steve just freeze? He got so mad.
He's rage frozen.
He's raging right
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What a time for me to lock up.
See, that's why you should have saved your other Dreamcast pick till later.
I know, man. Well, what can I say? Yeah, so that was going to be one of mine for sure. Okay, I get 2.
You get 2.
I get 2. Okay. I'm going to say Phantasy Star 4 on Sega Genesis. Because, again, much more adult themes. It, was sci-fi and cyberpunk, and was just
Oh, he froze.
Did we lose him again?
Yeah.
He's going through a storm. He's
man.
back.
Oh.
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay. And what I wanted to pick, and I'm surprised nobody did. I wanted to pick GoldenEye 007, but I only have Perfect Dark on my shelf, so I'm going to get Perfect Dark. Even though I don't think it's as good as 007.
That's the game Andy thinks did not live up to the hype anymore.
I'm just kidding. No, it's a great game. I was just trying to trigger Marcello. And 007, GoldenEye, because again, same thing. Like Nintendo at that point was so focused on getting people in the same room who were friends, who were to kill each other over these games, and we did. So,
all right, Marcello, you're up.
Okay, so this is my third pick.
Your third pick. You get 2 more picks, but you don't get another one until the wraparound.
Got it. So my next one is actually going to be Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii.
Good.
Oh, that's my George of games. Defining it to me was the Melee, but yeah, I agree. Good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick. Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, I only have 3 games in front of me. All my stuff.
You should be good because you got 1 and then you get your last 2.
Yeah.
So even if I pick one of them, you know what? Let's do it. Let's throw in my first. Let's actually, you know what? I'm going to throw an RPG in here.
Pokemon. Okay. Here's your Pokemon pick.
Game Boy, and it's actually 2 games because it's basically the same deal there. But I'm going to go Pokemon Red and Blue. I mean, why not? Let's throw that out there.
So
throw some love to the RPGs, but Pokemon is just fantastic.
I love that pick because you went Game Boy. I'm going Game Boy too, but I don't have the Game Boy game, but I do have it for Nintendo.
Tetris,
Tetris. Dude, this is my dad. I mean, my 100%. Dad. The only game my dad would ever play, Tetris.
Tetris has been on every console.
It's just a thing.
It's been on every console known to man.
Oh yeah. But Game Boy was the one for me. Like it was the big one, right? Tengen Tetris was good. That one was okay. I mean, it's the same game, but
Squirtle is the best starter. Thank you, Honky Kong. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm finishing my mountain off strong. I think this is a strong pick. Nobody's mentioned this console tonight. Xbox 360. I'm going
Gears
here.
of War. Good pick.
This is
I guess
finish. Here's a War shooter. Just great game. Dude, this game was so much fun. Finish off my mountain.
I'm gonna go
2-hour mark. Come on.
I'm gonna go off out of left field here. I'm gonna make one of those picks. We haven't gone to this realm of things yet, but I would say I'm gonna go to the PC for my next pick.
PC fighting game. This better be good.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Friends. This is it. This is. I mean, come on. This was a phenomenon. I mean,
it was a phenomenon.
World of Warcraft was yeah.
Leroy.
I love this. Playing
All right,
as ogres.
I'll just ask. Anybody playing Midnight? Anybody?
I was never a WoW guy, but
I played WoW one time, but I know that it's
Okay. All right.
I was just
people I've known for over 20 years.
Until it was too late. I just felt I couldn't catch up.
When I think of World of Warcraft, all I think of is Leroy.
That's
All right, so Steve,
Good pick.
Marcello, one more pick to block Steve right here, and then Steve, you get one more, and we're out of here.
So honestly, I'm not going to block Steve because I highly doubt he's going to pick this one. But this is one that was actually going to be originally my top 4 for the Mount Rushmore.
Love that.
But
you got it. This is a high quality pick. Then I love
but
that.
this is a high quality one, and honestly, I'm going to the PlayStation 3, and it's going to be Uncharted 2: Among Thieves.
I want to play the Uncharted game.
Uncharted 2 really set a brand new standard for how to do storytelling in gaming and blending it with fantastic action set pieces and brilliant voice acting, well-written scripts, just great sound. The game is literally an interactive movie you're playing, and the action sequences are just icing on the cake with everything. But that game, I got friends of mine to buy a PS3 once they saw that game. That was the game that defined the PS3 for me.
Sorry, Kirk. I just thought of something when he said that. Not even dealing with the game, but that saying, that's just icing on the cake. That's used usually is like that's just something extra. Like we didn't need it, but that's
lagniappe, we say in Louisiana.
Listen. I don't want the cake without the icing. That's the most important
That's
part.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like it's too sweet, right? Too much fun.
I don't know. What? Sorry, my brain just works that way.
Dude, we still got 20 people hanging out in the chat at the end. Make sure you hit the like button. Here's the last pick. Before you go, hit the like button. That is the most important thing that you can do tonight because that's what's going to get it out for us. Hey, Steve, what's the last pick of the night?
Man,
tell everybody good night.
The last one. I guess I really have to make it count.
Was it Dora the Explorer for the GameCube?
Dora.
I will pick Double Dash, Marcello. All right.
Dang it, Steve.
Since it's my last pick, all right.
God.
I was going to go with Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation for all kinds of...
He's going with a Saturn.
I'm going to go with the Saturn game. Why not? I'm going to go with Nights, specifically, and I know technically it's a demo, not a game, Christmas Nights. If we're talking about games that really embody the soul of the system, then I can't think of something that really speaks to Sega at that time, during a confusing generation with the Saturn, more so than Nights, especially Christmas Nights. Christmas Nights was the answer to the question, how do I take a game that's already this weird and uniquely Sega and turn it up to 11? Well, let's make it full of Christmas stuff, and that's what they did. So that's my answer. Nights and Christmas.
We almost did the 2-hour mark, Marcello.
We're good.
It's been a minute since we got under 2, and this is close. So I went and looked. The last closest was 2:01 a couple weeks ago. We're going to tell everybody good night. This is a great show. Marcello, it has been a blast meeting you. We hope that you come and visit us again. We do just to let everybody out there know what's you got coming up. As you guys drop your channels in the chat, this is a real quick, just what's coming up next. And then I want our two guests to share their story or share their channels before we head out and it's over. This is the upcoming shows, guys. Only thing that I'll say is that Iowa Retro Gaming Dad is moved back into the mix with Austin Bell with Siege and Crybaby Games. That's going to be a great show. He couldn't make the first one, so he's going to move back.
Great.
Next week is my buddy Kevin along with Manny. We're doing arcade shooters, and we're finishing off with Double Mint Games and Jared from Retro Pandemic. And then we're moving into music for 2 months, movies and TV for 2 months, which Mort's going to be on, a couple other people, and then back to video games. And we already have about 6 guests lined up for the second set of video games this year. If you guys want to come on back after all the convention world, you can come back on again. We'd love to have you. And you don't have to come on for video games, guys. I know that's our channels, but like Mort, you can come on for something else. We do music, movies and TV, and video games. Thanks for being here. Let's share, since you were first, Marcello. Steve, share your channel. Marcello, get ready. You're going to share yours, and then we're out. Steve, share everything about your channel. Get people to come visit you.
Hey, come visit me. I'm Saturn Steve, YouTube and Instagram, Saturn Steve. I have a few new videos coming. I think it's a lot of fun. Focus really on friendship and the gaming community. And it's frenetic fun, and I hope you'll come join me over there. Love to have you.
Somebody, if you're out there, somebody drop Saturn Steve's channel and drop GameCube Galaxy's channel in the chat, please. Somebody.
And I don't know if I've cut out or not. I might have.
No, you're good.
Okay, well, my internet keeps coming in and out. So anyway, I'm working on a new video now. It's only from 9 months ago, but I'm almost done, so I'll have that up here in the next week or so. And then I have 2 more after that. I'm going to get back on it now that we're at the beginning of the year. So thing that I'll say is Rock City Retro Fest, Huntsville. If you can make it, this is going to be a fantastic show. So be on the lookout for that if you can't make it. But if you can, it's going to be worth your time. There
it is. We're dropping chat. Steve bears a striking resemblance to the king of all cosmos.
Is that a Katamari reference?
Anyways, yeah. Well, that's hilarious. Right, Bryce, you can't make it. I thought you were going to be there. What's happening? Bryce, dude, I thought you were going to make it. Oh, man. All right. Well, Bryce, hopefully I see you soon back down in Charleston. Bryce, you mentioned, can you be on the anime show? We have 2 guests on for the anime show already. We might have 3, but if we get the 3rd or the 4th, we potentially can do a second anime show. I'll get back with you, I promise. We want you to be on for sure. Hey, Marcello, share. Oh, and Isaac, yes, movies you can be in. Give me a Thursday you want to be on. I'll join you in for sure, because we got to make up that one you missed. So, Marcello, you're up, man. Share your channel.
So GameCube Galaxy, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube with the handle at GameCube Galaxy, as you see down below in the bottom left corner. Again, if you guys love the GameCube as much as I do and want to either relive some nostalgia, watching some in-depth reviews I do, topic-based videos, top 10s, a few convention videos. I even did a video last year showcasing that I completed the North American GameCube collection, which was actually a really cool video. It was called It Ends Here. But I do bi-weekly releases on Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. This Sunday will be the next review, which with the Winter Olympics starting tomorrow, I'm actually finished up a review for ESPN International Winter Sports 2002. I felt it was the perfect time to review this winter-themed sporting game that is made by the team over at Konami, and it's part of the Hyper Sports or Track and Field series. So definitely be sure to tune in for that, because I got to say, that is a game that I know many people have not played and may very well be a hidden gem for people to check out.
Awesome. That is so great. These are top-tier channels, guys. Go visit them. Come hang out retro at Rocket City Retro Fest. I hope to be there with Retro Cannon for at least a little bit. If I see you guys there at any of these conventions, by the way, Marcello, I know you won't be there this week, but if I see you,
correct,
let's make sure we get a picture. Let's do a little video together. And Steve, hopefully I'll get a little picture with you guys. And Bryce, I'm so sad your ride didn't make it. I was really hoping to hug your neck this weekend if I was able to get to you. 20 people in the chat. Make sure you hit the like, because it's time to go. We're going to be on next Thursday, every Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Come hang out with us, climb the mountain. We'll see you guys next week. Hey, Honky Kong, thanks for being here. Andy,
Sorry, you're cutting out. I didn't even hear you. Yeah.
Tell everybody good night, Andy.
All right. Well, let's say good night. Thank you guys for joining in. We'll see you guys next Thursday. But for now, this is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four.
And no more.
Peace.